Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary. 'Cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
To anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee, dee-dee, a fwit-dee-dee-dee-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Da-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Adventures waiting further down the road.
Let's go!
Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Gothic Horror Gaming. Thanks for enduring with us for our little break. More about that later. But if you are new to the channel, just a quick disclaimer. This is, in fact, a live play horror tabletop role-playing game here at Gothic Horror Gaming. And as such, we deal with blood, gore, violence, things of common phobias, violence toward minors, uh, sometimes very disturbing things. So please be aware of that as you are joining us. It is not for everyone, and we completely understand. But just a heads up right from the get go. I'd like to thank our sponsors, as always. We'd like to start off by thanking Wren Adventures, wrenadventures.com. You can go ahead and check them out. They do all sorts of tours and such all over the country. They're booking one for Sicily. That's not a gaming tour, but it is a tour of Sicily. But we do gaming ones as well, including coming up in New Orleans from December 5th through the 9th. Come on down, tour the spooky city down there, the Crescent City, if you will. And then also get to play D&D with some of your favorite Renaissance Fair performers who are all performing at the Louisiana Renaissance Fair. And then it culminates with a trip to the Louisiana Renaissance Fair to watch all of them perform. So check that out, renadventures.com. I don't know if there are any spots left. There might be one or two, so you might want to double check. Also, we've got another one coming up. Going to start pitching it now. In June, the first week of June, we are doing a castle D&D tour over at Munster Castle in England. The castle that our very own Paulo Garbanzo is the jester of official. He won the contest years ago. So we'll be doing Dungeons and Dragons 5e there. You can check that out at renadventures.com. Currently, your dungeon masters are Paulo Garbanzo, myself, and Ryan Gelotti, who has been on this channel fairly frequently, especially on Gothic Horror Gaming. So be sure to check that out as well. We'd like to thank our friends over at 3D2U. 3D2U.org is their website. They make all sorts of wood burned and 3D printed gaming accessories, dice towers, dice trays, all that sort of thing. They're currently manufacturing a gigantic dragon egg that is just freaking huge. And they will be at the Delaware Renaissance Fair this weekend, peddling their wares, as well as some of the people you will see here tonight. So be sure to check them out at 3D2U.org. And I would be remiss if I did not plug ourselves. Handler Z, who's in the background operating everything, about the comments and such. She is a writer. I'm a narrator. We have a book in both print and audible form. You can find that on Amazon or on Audible. It's called Dare by Melissa Lee. Look for that. It's mainly horror fiction. And also we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Quill and Quote, where Handler Z will write the stories. I will narrate them. Our Patreon members get them in advance. So please check us out, patreon.com. You actually have to type in the /Quill and Quote because it is adult material. Also, I want to thank everyone for all of their wonderful well wishes that they were giving us recently. It is true. The Handler Z and I have recently spawned. And we have a baby bat amongst us. Many of you already knew that. You might hear her in the background. Baby Helena is in the other room with Handler Z. So thank you all for your well wishes, your kind gifts, your wonderful words, pictures, everything. We really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And stick around to the very end. Maybe if she's still awake, we'll have her pop on camera to say hi. Now, about tonight's game. We are doing a horror game set in the Chill universe. The Chill universe is by Mayfair Games originally, passed through a couple other companies down the line. But the supernatural is real. It exists. It's behind the scenes. Most people don't know about it. It is usually evil and very powerful. There is an organization that combats it called SAVE. They've been around since the 1800s. It is not a government organization. It is a group of, for lack of a better term, philanthropists who are fighting the unknown, keeping it from bleeding into our modern world. The game system we're using is called Over the Edge. Over the Edge is a very simple rule system. I'm going to summarize it here in mere moments. You have a character. They have 3 traits, a primary trait and 2 side traits. Anytime you want to do anything, you see if it falls underneath one of your traits. That determines how many 6-sided dice you get to roll in order to hit a target number and succeed. Primary traits will get you to roll 4 dice. Side traits get you to roll 3 dice. No traits, you roll 2 dice. That is basically the rules. The traits can be anything. For instance, they could be an occupation. They could be a baker. So let's say you're a baker is your primary trait, and you are attempting to start up some industrial ovens for whatever reason in a horror game that you might want to do that. Use your imagination. Because it is your primary trait, you would roll 4d6 to fire up those ovens. Um, if maybe your side trait is that you are a triathlete, that you like to perform in triathlons, Ironman competitions, that sort of thing. If that's your side trait, and say you wanted to vault over a wall, climb up and vault over a wall while you're being pursued by some unearthly horror, you would roll 3d6. And now let us say that you want to rewire a fuse box, but you have nothing electronical in any of your traits, then you would roll 2 dice. Those are the rules. You at home can help by spending your Twitch points. Those of you who are on Twitch, you can spend your Twitch points with Sir David Percival over there in the comments. Thank you, Sir David Percival, for being here yet again and taking care of this for us. You can spend your Twitch points with Sir David, and that will buy helps. You tell who you want to help, the individual players or even myself, and that will enable whoever gets that help to declare and then use an additional die. Now, they can still only take the maximum number, but it gives them an extra chance to get a higher number. For instance, our baker is trying to make a flan that will not collapse. And for whatever reason, it is incredibly, incredibly urgent that this flan not collapse. They choose to use a help. So normally they would roll 4 dice. Now instead they will roll 5, but they will take the 4 highest. Very simple. You'll see as we go, it makes a lot of sense as you see it played. Where are we? It's been a while, so perhaps a brief recap is in order. Our players are seasoned save operatives. It is the Isle of Crete in 1937. We started off actually on the island of Sicily. Actually, going back even further, we started off in Tangier, where the players were approached by Gordon Pym, the nominal head of the SAVE organization, and they were requested to find and locate a very powerful artifact that could unleash horrors upon the world, as far as we know. It is called the Daedalus device. That was all the information they were really given. They made their way to Sicily, the last known place in mythology where Daedalus, the mythical inventor, was known to have been. They tracked down his palace where he had stayed with another king. They ran afoul of Mussolini's black shirts. They made friends with the Sicilian mafia. They discovered a piece of Linear B script, which at this point has not been translated in history. However, there is a woman who is translating it. Her name is Alice Kober. And Alice Kober is currently in Heraklion, the capital city on the Isle of Crete, which is where she's doing her studies and research. So our players managed to escape under duress with the mafia as their guide, and have now arrived at Heraklion on the Isle of Crete. Let me introduce our players and get them to tell you a little bit about themselves so that you can remember who these people are. Let us start with Lucas Evans. Lucas, welcome back. As you pointed out, yes, you were not approached. You were actually telegrammed, each and every one of you. Pym did not show up in person, which is what his normal MO is. Lucas, you are still muted.
Yeah, that's what I'm wary about this whole thing. I feel like there's something that smells off about this. Given the circumstances for what this could unleash, it's understandable that things might be a little different. However, I wouldn't be here if I ignored that kind of stuff.
So you, just to refresh our viewers' memories, Lucas, what is it exactly that you do for a living?
Well, I'm a legitimate businessman. I work as a bartender, but also people from time to time come to me with things that they are selling, or that uh, they need somebody to hold on to. That well, I'm not saying that they're illegal, but they're difficult to get.
Very good.
I work in that trade, and I've done a bit of hunting in my time.
Very good. We also have with us Dr. Montana Smith.
Hello there.
Yeah, give us a little bit of your background just to refresh everyone's memories.
Well, as my little byline says right here, I am an accidental murder archaeologist. I am here with the Save Gang. In my defense, the guy, I was aiming for his knee, and he was a fascist. And I mean, they're Italian fascists. They're one step away from Nazis. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I hate those guys. Seriously. But I am an archaeologist from the University of Pennsylvania. And I am really interested in seeing just what all of these linear B hieroglyphs have to say. I would love to get out of this alive. I hope that's not too much to ask, but also that's basically where I'm at. I feel bad about killing the man. He might have had a family, but also he was a fascist. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
We also have another doctor with us, a doctor of a different stripe, Dr. Sabine Clément. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Maybe. Well, maybe.
You can correct. You are allowed to correct me.
No. It's perfectly fine. Dr. Sabine Clément.
Very good. Doctor, what are you a doctor of?
I'm a doctor of medicine, of course. I am an healer. I like to. I'm very good at what I do in terms of making sure that everyone is in good working order, as it were. And I feel like I have been patching people up quite a bit this time. It has definitely been a very interesting mission that we have been on. I mean, what with caves collapsing and people holding my neck hostage, and the accidental murder.
Accidental murders will happen. It's a dangerous world.
Quite.
Very well. And we also have with us an American by the name of Ox. Ox, welcome.
Hey.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a former Olympic hopeful in Greco-Roman wrestling, and just been kind of wandering Europe until I got a letter from Pim to join up with these folk and look for this daddy list thing.
Very good. And you're from Iowa, are you not?
Yeah.
Very, very good. A farm boy, if you will.
Yep.
Excellent.
They call Iowa the Crete of the Midwest. I don't know if that.
They call Iowa the what?
The Crete of the Midwest?
Yes, the Crete of the Midwest. That is correct. That is, Iowa is well known for its ancient civilizations.
Mm-hmm. True.
Very well.
I've seen some ancient things in Iowa.
True. So you have arrived. Your boat, piloted by Angelo, has arrived from Sicily, and the mafia drops you off at the pier in broad daylight. Crete at this time is currently it is controlled by Greece, but there's also a large British presence here. The British Navy has many interests in and around Crete, not just the Isle of Malta that's nearby, but so there's there's a lot more openness, friendliness to this port in Heraclian than there was on Sicily per se, with Benito Mussolini's thugs walking around. Just to give you an idea of what we are looking at, that is a more recent picture. There's a lovely protected harbor guarded by, that's an ancient Venetian fortress that was built. And then the ruins of Gnosis are famously located here in the municipality, just outside the main part of town. I am going to point out that those colors are what they suspect the actual colors were. This is not a fabrication. This is an actual photograph of the site. So you have that to look forward to.
I'm looking forward to NPCs who speak English.
There are a number of British,
Yeah.
you see some British soldiers and such walking around.
Few.
Yes, there is certainly a large British population here on Crete, though it is Greek, and many of the Greeks also speak English because of their close ties with the United Kingdom.
Sounds
And-
excellent.
And remind me again, real quick, what is the name of the scholar who is translating Linear B?
Alice Cober.
Alice.
you.
Alice.
Alice Cober. For those of you who like to be up on the history that I tend to base these games in, Alice Cober is in fact a very real person, and is the one who translated Linear B.
Oh, wonderful. About what time do we land in Crete?
You land late morning. You've traveled all night, and now you are here.
Delightful.
All right. Wow. Anybody want to grab some breakfast and then head over to the university?
Mais oui, bien sûr.
Breakfast sounds awesome.
All right.
There's a
still
bunch
gonna
of
do
open
a-
air market stalls selling food.
I'm still going to do a look around, just making sure that, we aren't being followed or preceded. They don't have agents, people looking out for us.
Well, give me your requisite paranoia skill, if you would like to roll that, please.
What I wouldn't give for a croissant.
That is a 15.
15. Things seem relatively relaxed here. The war is still several years off. For those of you who know the history, so things are still relatively sedate for a Mediterranean seaside town. You can see that there are a large number of British who look to be antiquarian types here and there gathered around. This is a huge hubbub of archaeology. Gnosis, as Dr. Montana Smith certainly knows, is the ancient Minoan palace that was part of the height of the Minoan civilization. That the ruins are located within the city limits here. It was discovered a while back, and recently has been unearthed and dug through starting in 1877. So in 1900, even more excavations took place, and a lot of restoration began at that point. So it is a hotbed of scholarly learning about the predecessors of ancient Greece.
Excellent. Am I seeing? Do I see anyone around that I might know?
Give me a university roll. Maybe you do.
All right. Fantastic. How many would that be? Do we think? Since I am
your archaeologist is your primary.
yeah, that's my primary. Sorry. Before
4.
that, I guess. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. Cool. Great. 18. Wow. Starting off high.
As you are looking around, picking up which stall you're going to get your breakfast from, you do spy a gentleman that you recognize from Columbia University.
Oh.
A Dr. Stanley Hampton. He's a middle-aged, slightly portly, balding man with a white fringe of hair. The top of his head is very sunburned. He is clearly not used to being here in the Mediterranean. But you see him across the way. He is also picking out food. He has not noticed you yet.
Friends, if you don't think it's too
No, lead on.
iffy, I see a colleague of mine. He'd be able to help us along with some exploration here.
Sounds good.
All right,
Okay.
Stanley,
His
Dr.
head-
Hampton.
He looks around confused, and eventually he looks on over and he squints for a moment in the bright sunlight. Smith?
Hey.
Well, fancy seeing you here. Ha!
Oh, what are you doing out here in the Mediterranean?
Oh, I can't. You know me. I'm always trying to find the latest greatest thing, and Dr. Kober brought over an expedition from Colombia, and I managed to convince her to take me along. Ha!
Ah, well, that's certainly fortunate. How did you get it? How did you find yourself being that lucky?
I don't know. I know, but what are you doing here? It's a long way from the University of Pennsylvania.
Oh, well, I'm out here doing some work with just a philanthropic group that I occasionally do some advising for. I have some of my associates here with me. Dr. Sabine Clement. She is a
charming.
fantastic general practitioner. And then Lucas Evans and our pal Ox. He's a former Olympian.
Oh, really? Oh, is that? Football? Wrestling? Wrestling. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Oh, did you compete in the Olympics?
I did not.
Oh, damn shame. Looks like you could have done well.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Thank you.
we're just grabbing some breakfast here, and then we were gonna be heading over to try to meet up with Dr. Kober. But if you're already part of her group,
Well, of course, I could take you. She's set up. She's got a little flat rented just outside the university where she's sort of operating out from. She's been looking at various inscriptions and trying to decipher some languages. She's been cross-referencing. She was doing that back at Columbia, and the opportunity presented itself for her to come on over here and do some in person. So, sure, of course. I mean, if you want to grab a bite to eat, we'll walk on over. It's only a couple 100 yards away.
yeah, fantastic. Yeah, maybe we can get some bouillabaisse. So I mean, that'll be really
Gesundheit.
delicious for you. Just some traditional pastries here. Bouillabaisse. I heard bouillabaisse from one of my interns, but
Please tell me they
We'll
have
see.
decent cafe here.
yes, it's very good, Doctor.
I just want some eggs.
Oh,
You can
eggs!
have
Yeah, of course. They got some partridge eggs over there. They got chicken eggs over there. Duck eggs over there.
You want an omelet, Ox? We can get you an omelet.
All right, I think I'll stick with the chicken eggs like God intended.
Very well. You gather your meal, and he leads you over to Dr. Alice Kober's flat.
Fantastic. All right.
Alice, I never believe it. I've met an old friend of mine from the University of Pennsylvania. met him down there. Him and his friends had just arrived. Dr. Kober, allow me to introduce Dr. Smith, Mr. Evans, and Mr. Ox, and Dr. Clement.
Dr. Kober, absolute pleasure to meet you. Zachary Smith, lovely to meet you. I've been following your work for quite a long time, and just I would love if you have time later to see if you can make heads or tail out of a translation that out of a stone that we saw in Sicily.
Zachary.
Really? How interesting.
Yeah, Zachary. Yeah, Zachary. Everyone's got a first name.
Alice Kober is about. She's actually only in her 30s, so younger, but short hair, no glasses, but very kind of stern looking, but still youthful at this point. Although academia, it's clear that she spends a lot of time in libraries and not outside.
No field work.
But she gets up as you enter. Charming, indeed. It's very, very nice to meet all of you. You have an inscription of some sort, you say?
Yes, and I pull out of my bag the rubbing we made of the stone. Yeah, we got this in Sicily.
Sicily? Really? How interesting.
Yes.
This is clearly Linear B. I've been working to try to translate. I can translate fragments here and there of it, but you found it in Sicily, you say?
Yes.
How interesting. Do you know where in Sicily?
Not in Palermo, I can tell you that.
Yes, not in Palermo.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, it makes sense. There were Cretan colonies on the Isle of Sicily for a while. You know, there's a story about Daedalus went there after he escaped from the labyrinth.
That's exactly it. And
Daddy was
I could
dead.
tell you the whole story attached to this, but you wouldn't believe me. So
Oh,
it sounds far too fantastical. Something that you'd see in a serial.
oh well. May I look at your rubbing of the inscription for a while?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Certainly. Now I will have to cross-reference. It will take me some time. You've caught me in a bit of a lull, so I can devote an hour or two to this if you have time to
Oh
spare.
my gosh, that is intensely gracious of you. Thank you.
Certainly. Well, please avail yourself of the lovely city and come back in a couple hours, and I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. And
She immediately sits down, pulls out a magnifying glass, and several books. Some published bound books, and some are notebooks of her own with her handwriting in them. And she immediately is obviously very much a puzzle solver, and she is immediately trying to solve these.
very
Okay.
excellent.
So,
We stand around awkwardly till she's done. Go on.
She appears to have totally forgotten that you are in the room.
is there something that we should probably be doing?
We could collect a little bit more information. Also, I'm a little bit wary of sticking your head out, but at the same time, like those British officers would not be a bad place to talk to as well, just to kind of give them a heads up and a professional courtesy.
Why would we want to draw attention to ourselves?
Well,
Of all the people, Lucas Evans.
Doc.
Do you remember
Listen.
the last time that we had a run-in with the military?
no, that's exactly why I thought we should do it, because we're not going to shoot at these people. And
We're not going to shoot at these people. Probably.
Why
That
would
is
you?
true.
Say so far, I never say never. I'm just saying.
See.
Actually,
Well, if you remember, my first suggestion was we wait here patiently for an hour, but I know that I'm just like if we're gonna get into trouble, let's get into trouble. But if not, let's wait for the reading to be done.
I feel confident there will still be trouble in an hour.
well, that is very true.
Yeah.
Okay,
Max, you're right. When you're right, you're right.
I would like to roll to see if I have a
Thank
coffee.
you, Mr. Luke.
Well,
you
we
have a
can-
coffee.
Great.
Yeah, we can go get more too.
Yeah, it's a bustling town out there. It's
When with the antiquarians, the other thing that we didn't really, talk too much about. I just want to the cave that we got this rubbing in, and the ghosts inside, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Um,
and
Do we want to look at? Do we want to research a little bit more about them and what we might be? I don't know,
If
looking to
I-
have to fight.
if I recollect correctly, I identified them as specters.
basically there were remnants
Remnants.
after images.
Right. Okay. So basically, they're just memories,
Yes,
memories of a spirit.
they could not harm you per se, but the traps that were left behind certainly could have and almost did.
Thanks God that they did not.
Well, in terms of maybe not identifying the like, hey, we're wanted for killing some fascists over a little bit of water. How about we inform uh, the British soldiers about like, hey, have you heard of any large Samoans who have been around here in this area?
We're still not on the Samoans. That was so long ago.
Yeah, but they also were looking for the same thing that we are looking for.
Maybe. But there has not been any evidence that they were here now.
Neither have you looked for any, really.
That is true. Hmm.
Hey, if they haven't seen anything, they haven't seen anything. If they have, we'll know to keep an even lower profile.
Well, okay, all right, fine. Let us go.
Is there somewhere in particular you want to go to encounter these aforementioned soldiers and/or sailors?
Is there a way we could like? Are there any like at the university or like kind of call some over? Like we stay there, like we don't go looking for them. We call them, like we call one of them to us.
So the British are not technically in charge of Crete.
Sure.
They are just allies. Although there is an embassy. It's less than half a mile away. Dr. Hampton, Dr. Stanley gives you that information freely. It's like, oh yes, the British have an embassy right down three streets down, and then on your right.
Okay. Shall we go?
Yeah. What do you
I
think,
am
Monty?
getting along for the ride.
I think I will stay right here.
Very well. Montana stays with Dr. Kober, and the three of you meander down the street to the British embassy. The door is open. There is a clerk sitting inside, a young man in sweat-stained khakis, just scribbling away. And as you come in, he looks at us. Oh, I say it. Yes, can I help you?
How are we doing today?
I'm fine. How might the British government be of assistance? Please come in.
Thank you so much. We just I'm Lucas Evans. I work in shipping and just with all of the with everything that's been going on internationally. Just wondering if you've had any particular trouble with, oddly enough, Any Polynesians?
Polynesians.
I know it's a strange question. I'm just
And none have come in here into this office. Uh, is there a particular individual that is giving you difficulty?
not an individual. It's kind of it's gang activity. It's I've had different shipments of
Here on
just
Crete.
not in Crete, but in Tangiers. I'm here on business, hopefully securing some more. But just because the client wanted me to make sure, has there been any gang activity with any Polynesians or Samoans?
I can't say that I've seen any islanders here on Crete of late, but I suppose let me roll some dice to see what exactly they know. But we do have a naval attaché who's down at the docks. Let me Westwood, could you come in here for a moment, please, sir? And a British Navy attaché walks in. Excuse me.
Salut.
Yes, there's a question of something down at the docks, you say? Some islanders.
Gang activity. Just have you noticed any?
The only islanders I've seen of late was about 3 or 4 days ago. There was a group of 4 of them put ashore, but they met up with some local, and they went off into the city. I don't know where they went, but they didn't give any trouble.
Very
Big fellows, 4 of them.
Have there been any other interesting activities, specifically with some of the ancient sites that have been excavating? Any odd things happening?
I wouldn't know anything about that, but Smythe here might know. And Smythe, the man sitting at the desk, says, I'm terribly sorry. I don't get out much into the city. I'm not much of an academic. I do not haven't heard of anything going wrong anywhere. Nothing with any of the, archaeology sites. People come, they look at old rocks, they take some back to the British Museum, and here we are.
Well, some of the if these large gentlemen are the ones I think they are, they've been trying to, this is between you and me and the hole in the wall. But some of the things that are meant to go in the British
Museum.
Museum.
There's a hole in my wall. Really? Where?
No.
Oh, metaphor. I get it.
The window, the biggest of holes, second biggest,
yes,
first being a door. It's the stupidest thing I've said all day.
I have faith that you'll have more stupid ones coming up.
It's English.
But if those are the gentlemen I think they are, they might be dealing in some not so legitimate business practices.
Well, as Crete is not technically the British Empire's jurisdiction, nor have they specifically committed a crime, I cannot do anything about it. But I will keep under advisement what you are, your warning, and if we see them around again, I'll certainly have people keep tabs on them, make sure that they're not getting into trouble.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. Just we had a shipment go missing, and it's. I will tell my client that there's nothing to be worried about.
Very good.
Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you're very welcome. If the British Empire can do anything else to help you, please do not hesitate to come to our hole in the wall here again.
Merci.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good day. And I assume you make your way back then to rejoin Montana?
Yep.
Dr. Kober finally puts down her pen and looks up and sees that you have returned, and is surprised that Montana has been here this entire time. She's been so absorbed. Interesting. Yes, I've managed to give a partial translation.
All right, what do we got?
This roughly translated, as you know, it's more of a pictograph than an alphabet. So some things, if we do not know the exact correlation between the pictogram itself and a specific word, that sometimes things can be lost in translation. Why, just the other day, I was looking at this document here, and as you can clearly see, that this thing that looks like a corn, an ear of corn, is actually referencing a specific place. And that specific place, I believe, was on the far side of the island. Now, that far side of the island was...
Would it have helped you if we pull up a map and showed you exactly where we found this?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I went on a bit of a tangent, didn't I? I'm terribly sorry. Yes. Indeed. What I can deduce from this is that the author, whoever it is, this section here is broken off. Cannot see the exact, if there's any authorship on here, but it says it's something about my 4 greatest treasures, and it says something about 2 of them are buried inside the 3rd one, and that the 4th one plunged into the sea.
Monty, is that tracking anything with you?
Repeating that, please.
No, not at all. It's essentially the author states that they had 4 treasures.
4, okay.
And one of them plummeted into the sea.
Okay.
And 2 of the other ones are buried inside the 3rd greatest treasure.
Okay.
Well, do we think the first one that plummeted in? I'm talking to Monty about this. Might that be? I don't know, the
Icarus
wings
itself.
Yeah.
If it's from Daedalus,
Yeah.
The wing Icarus would have been his greatest treasure if you want to assume that it was real. And based off what we've seen, we're kind of going to have to go with that.
Yeah. Did he build the maze?
Daedalus building the labyrinth? Yeah. He definitely.
That's the one treasure, and then
the other 2 are hidden inside of it.
Yeah.
Are you saying this in front of Dr. Kober?
Yes.
Yeah.
We absolutely are.
And she says, "Oh, you mean the labyrinth?"
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that would be very interesting. So I think you make a good point about the one plunging into the sea being Icarus, and then there would be the labyrinth was one of his greatest creations. It was rumored to be here in Gnosis, but it was never discovered here. People have been looking for it all in the surrounding areas as well. We know it is not the actual temple complex of Gnosis, however.
We do know that. Okay.
Yes.
Where would you look?
Well, I mean, if you assume that the mythology is somewhat based in fact, you have Daedalus builds the labyrinth in order to contain the Minotaur, at the behest of King Minos, and it is, from what I understand, it was somewhere outside of the city of Gnosis itself, but not far. Are we familiar with the Minotaur?
Yes.
Quite, yes.
And its origins?
Yes, Zeus. Zeus seduced the wife of King Minos, and we get a
Her
monster.
eyebrow raises. Really?
That's not it. Oh no, this is the actor talking.
No.
Perhaps you should.
Montana, give me a roll for archaeology.
All right, I will roll for archaeology. All right,
Because I think your character would actually know the true story.
yeah, the character would totally know the true story. I got a 15 on that.
Oh yeah. So the actual story of the Minotaur is that King Minos had this prized bull that he was supposed to sacrifice to Zeus.
That's where Zeus came in.
Substituted a different one, thinking Zeus wouldn't notice. In his anger, Zeus caused Minos's wife to fall in love with the bull and make.
Daedalus created the suit for her.
And yes, Daedalus created a shell of a heifer that Minos's wife climbed in, and then the bull mated with that.
That's not what we're looking for, is it? That's
Probably
not
not.
what we're looking for. Are we
Well-
sure? Can we?
Man, no
The
Greeks
Minoans
are
were
weird.
very into their cattle. That is for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there were rumors about one of my neighbors back. You know what? That's not. Never mind.
Oh, the milking machine. Yeah, I heard that made it all the way to Tangiers.
Oh, all right.
Heard about that one. Yeah.
My goodness. Well, okay, so that is a lot of information to have. Is there anything else on the tablet that we should know?
That is essentially it. The 4 treasures. We determined that one is the labyrinth. One is Icarus.
Icarus. So we have 2 more.
Would that one treasure be the Minotaur? That was a wondrous creation, even if inadvertent.
I find. Do you have a map of Sicily?
Sicily or Crete?
Sicily.
Sicily?
You know, I did, but I deleted it.
Well, no, I'm asking Alice because what I want to do is
here's a map of the Mediterranean. She lays it.
Sure. I want to just show her like, okay, so this is where I'm filling her in with other. I'm like, this is where we found this tablet. You had asked earlier, and if you're talking about like, if you can get any more from this any more information from more context, I'd be happy to provide that.
But the only thing I can get from this is that might have been. That is one of the rumored areas that in which Daedalus was living for a period of time after he fled from the labyrinth, and that eventually Minos tracked him there, and then Minos was burned alive in a tub with scalding hot water.
Oh, we are very familiar with that one.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you speculating on the location of the
Of the labyrinth? Yes.
Yes. Maybe we should go to Knossos.
Yeah.
Oh, there are certainly plenty of more physical archaeologists than I there. In fact, Dr. Hampton went back over that way just a little while ago.
Well, then we can catch up with him. Doctor, thank you so much for all of the help that you've given us. And it's
Indeed, if you
honestly
find any more of these,
a true honor.
if you find any more of these, please bring them to me. While it hasn't unlocked a floodgate, it certainly has allowed me to piece together a little bit more of the language. So every fragment that I can get my hands on certainly expands my knowledge and allows me to translate even more.
Of course. And again, just such a thrill to meet you. I mean, truly,
well, thank you. Thank you. I did not know that I had much of a fan base.
Those of us in the community, we're very aware of you. So, I mean, it's so great to meet you in person.
It is also lovely to see another doctor who is a woman.
Oh, well, thank you. A pleasure is mine as well. I mean, who knew that my dissertation on the use of color terms in the Greek poets, including all the poets from Homer to 146 BC, except for Epigrammatus, would be such a hit.
We've got some time. Do you want to go over those real quick with it?
We should probably go to Gnosis. We do not.
You know
have
what?
that
That's a
much
better
time.
idea. That's a better idea.
Oh, very good. Well, please, if you find any more, stop back in. Thank you.
We shall. Indeed.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Oh man, can you think of a better name for a dissertation? Though, honestly, I mean that's just a great name for a dissertation. Seriously.
There was a lot of words in this one.
Oh yeah. She's pretty
Okay, so shall we find your friend, Montana?
Yes. Let's go. Let's go find Stanley.
All right.
We might have. We got to keep our eye open for some.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
What?
there's four of them.
our friends from the islands are here in Greece.
You're kidding me.
Apparently, the British people were saying that some
Four of them.
4 of them. So we should keep our eyes open.
Okay.
And
All
no
right.
shooting this time.
With those ones, we
Fine.
won't really have to worry about it. All we have to do is hurt them enough for that, or catch. I have no problem killing them. These are people who have tried to kill us multiple times in the last couple years, and if they get to this first, that's it. That's it.
Before we go to Gnosis, I want to know, is there a hospital here?
Oh yes, we're attached to the university. Yes.
Oh, delightful. I would like to restock, if I may.
Give me a trait roll for your PhD, for your medical doctor, mainly just to persuade people to give you what you want.
Oh, but I am so very charming. Oh, that will be 15.
You get all the staples restocked,
Bien sûr.
and you make your way to the archaeological site at Gnosis. There's activity here and there. Some areas have been restored, some are being restored, and you do encounter Dr. Stanley Hampton off with a group of colleagues. He appears to be supervising some cleaning work. They're cleaning up a column that had apparently fallen down, and they look like they're cleaning it off and attempting to figure out where it was located to restore it to its previous position when you arrive.
All right. This is something. All right.
Oh,
Dr. Hampton.
Montana. Good to see you again. Was Alice able to help you out?
Oh, insanely helpful. Now, I know that we're just throwing darts right now. We're just throwing some lawn darts, but where do you think, if you had to make a guess, we would find the labyrinth? The labyrinth of Daedalus.
That's the $100,000 question, isn't it?
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
It's a lot of money.
I mean, there are some speculations. Some people think it's over in Scotino Cave.
Have people been asking? Have other people asked you about this?
Well, actually, yeah, there was a Greek fellow that was in here. Probably 4 or 5 days ago, asking about the labyrinth.
Where did you tell him to go?
Well, I mentioned the Scotino Cave and also the old settlement of Gorton, where there's a series of tunnels accessed by a narrow crack, and then it kind of expands out. But those look more man-made. Scotino Cave, I'm iffy on as to whether that was actually man-made or not. Neither one of those are active dig sites. No one's.
Did he have anybody with him?
Go there.
Did he have anybody with him?
Let's see if I remember. There were couple of burly fellows with him. I assume they were day laborers or something.
Yeah. Which way did they go? Where do you think they went? The caves or the natural caves or the tunnels?
I tried to persuade them that Gortin, which is an ancient settlement, that the tunnel complex outside that was probably more likely. No one's really explored it beyond a couple dozen yards into it.
What do you say, Monty?
Honestly, flip a coin.
Oh,
There's a map of Crete. You can see that red dot in the just off of center on the upper side, Heraclean, and then Gnosis is that pillar-looking thing. If you were to go down where the word Myers is, that right around that S is where Gorton is.
I'd say Stanley. How far away is Gorton from Gnosis?
Oh, it's about Wikipedia far away. Gorton is about
I got a 17 on and I got a 17 on archaeology right there.
It's only about 30 miles away.
Okay. I'm gonna say let's go to Groton.
yeah.
And Gloom Master, I got a 17 on archaeology roll. Does that
Yes.
make sense then?
Yes. Gorton.
Gorton,
It was
not
excavated
Gorton.
originally the settlement in 1884. And definitely Neolithic clay figurines. Interesting enough, called Daedalic plastic figurines.
Yep.
They were found around in there, and then they've uncovered part of the marketplace and the old temple, and then you've never heard of a cave complex outside of it, but that is definitely a Cretan, probably Minoan settlement. Probably predates the Minoans even.
Okay. Seems like could be. Seems like we might be able to hit some pay dirt.
Yeah. And if you know the other if the people who are I think that we're gonna be there are there, either they've already sprung some traps and maybe there are not so many of them, or we can tell if they're there, or
Would
the
you know
advantage is they
how
don't know that
to-
we're coming.
Would you know how to identify traps, Mr. Evan?
I mean, I know we've run into them in the past.
That is very true.
All right. So, Stanley,
Yes.
would you or any of your grad students like to go on a dig?
Oh, we're a little swamped with work. We're kind of busy at the moment. I'm terribly sorry.
Stanley, how much are you being paid?
It's Columbia University. They're actually financing us quite well. Do you need a lift?
I would happily take a lift. Any spare backs you have for shovels, and Evans, if you want to help, if you think we need some guards, let's get some.
That's
get
not a
some
bad
muscle.
idea.
But
I mean, we've got some muscle.
That's true. We have
And
ox.
I've been
Howdy.
thinking about this a while. Like, you know, when it comes to An ox versus a bull. You want an ox?
Because he's castrated.
Nope.
I am not.
That's
No,
not
not you,
Oh.
Ox,
Oh,
but
all right,
like
okay.
in general.
Was the
Like, 'cause
Minotaur
he's
castrated? Was
calmer?
that part of the?
Yeah, like an ox was a bull, and then it's castrated.
No, I mean,
You're thinking of a steer?
Like, well, like
Yeah.
like an ox is like.
I'm talking about our friend Ox.
Yeah.
Yes.
We should.
I'm still not castrated.
Let's
Oxen are
go.
different species than cattle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we should probably just go to Gnosis, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You're in Gnosis.
Or the
I mean, yeah,
the
like-
other.
Gorton.
Gorton.
Yes,
Gorton.
Gorton. We should probably just.
Oh, I've got a spare open top car over there. I mean,
Oh.
we're not using it today. If you wanted to take it down the center highway and take it right past Gorton.
Yes,
That
please.
would be lovely.
Thank you, Stanley.
All right, just make sure you bring it back. All right,
Oh, absolutely.
otherwise it's coming out of my stipend.
If anything happens to it, we'll take care of it. Evan's here. He's Mr. Moneybags.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just send it care of the University of Pennsylvania.
Pay for it.
And don't worry, if we find anything worth finding, Columbia will get its share of credit.
Oh well, I didn't say I thought you'd find anything there, but if you do, let me know.
If you run out of money, you
All
can
right.
just take it from the arts, right? Let's go.
Okay.
Too soon.
Does anybody know how to
Too
drive this
soon,
thing?
Evans.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
Sure.
I can probably drive it.
Yeah, clutch.
Perfect.
Very well, Ox. Give me a farm boy roll.
9.
You grind the gears a bunch. Things are on the other side. It's a British-made vehicle. Takes a little bit of getting used to. You see Dr. Hampton kind of wince as you first lurch out of the area. But eventually you get the hang of it. And you travel down across the spine, if you will, of the island of Crete. Again, here's the map. You can see you're basically going due south, and there's a ridge line there. There's a road that goes along the base of that ridge line. All right. It's only about 30 miles away, even with the twisting roads and the mountainous countryside in the middle of the island. It still only takes you about 2 hours to get there. It's early afternoon when you arrive. You see that there is, in fact, an archaeological dig site at Gorton. There are a couple people working there, a couple of tents set up, people excavating very meticulously. Not a lot of settlement right here. This is obviously an ancient site of some kind. Heads lift as you approach. People are curious as to who's joining them out on the dig. What do you do?
Montana, this is your area once again.
Hey there. Hey there.
Yeah,
we're just,
hello.
Hi. What dig are you all from?
The University of Munich.
Ah, from Munich. Fantastic. Zachary Smith. People call me Montana. University of Pennsylvania.
Oh, Americans. Very nice to meet you.
Yes. My colleagues, Lucas Evans, Ox, Dr. Clement. Do you folks need a doctor by chance?
Oh, no, we are all well and very hearty and hale. Thank you for asking. I do appreciate it.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I was hoping that we'd be able to also dig here for.
The University of Munich has an agreement with the the Greek national government for the excavation of this site.
Okay. Well, I mean, would we be able to look over your shoulder as observers?
I mean,
It would mean an
Yeah.
awful lot to me. I really like holes.
we're currently just excavating the agora, the marketplace square.
I would love it. I mean, we're not here on an official an official expedition yet. We're just, observers. I've been sent out ahead to just get the lay of the land and see if this would be worth us trying to get a dig done in the future. So,
But
my
we are digging
my
here
apologies
now.
for any confusion.
We are digging here now. We have permitting to excavate here for the next 10 months.
10 months. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh,
Has this been a busy site for you? Has anybody else been eyeing this area?
And we had some non-academic types that I had to chase off.
oh,
Wow.
like who?
Oh, there were 5 of them: a little Greek man and 4 big fellows.
Oh,
So asking all sorts of questions about the labyrinth.
oh, yeah. I mean,
This
of
is not a
course.
labyrinth. This is simply this is a Neolithic village.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and have you found it? Have you found anything fantastic while you've been here?
I mean, if you like, I can show you what we have found so far.
Where
And
did they
love to
go?
see
I'll
it.
give you a brief tour of basically they found the marketplace and part of a temple and a couple of small structures.
Okay.
Where did they run off to? Where did they go?
Hmm?
The
Oh,
ones you chased off.
Those I don't know. They went off to the north and east. They said something about the caves up there. There are caves all around here. They went up to the northeast. Up, he gestures up toward the hills. They went around behind those hills somewhere, and honestly, good riddance. They're not going to find anything up there.
All right. Thanks so much. So sorry to interrupt your day, and I really thank you for the tour. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Whereabouts do y'all is like, so we don't accidentally step on toes if we go poking around? Where did your guys' agreement like end?
We have the agreement for the entire village structure here. He gestures. It's about a couple of 100 meters in every direction, but that's about it. That's why I didn't mind them running off to the hills. There's nothing over there anyway.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Righty.
Well, thank you so very much, Doctor. Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah. If your university wishes to communicate with my university to work on a joint project in the future, here's my card.
Oh, thank you.
Dr. Hans Friedrich.
And Hans Friedrich.
Yes, from the University of Munich.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks so very much. And again, Zachary Smith. Friends call me Montana.
Very well. Very nice to meet you, Montana. Doctor, Mr. Evans and Mr. Ox.
You can call me Oliver too.
Oliver, I like that name better. Try not to get sunburned out there.
Fantastic. We got to go to the caves. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
That sounds where that Greek guy knows polytheist went.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Damn it.
So are you going to need a roll from Montana? You're going to be probably the best at guessing where a cave system would be out here in these hills. So if you give me an archaeology roll.
15.
15. Very well. You have a you know geological formations roughly. You're not a geologist per se, but you can tell there's limestone in that direction. That looks about right. There's no set road there, so Ox, I need you to make a driving skill, please.
Woohoo! This could be fun.
Before you roll, there are helps available, and there they are.
I'm gonna use a help on this one.
I'm very good. Wisely done.
Okay,
I'm
good.
using a help.
That brings me up to a 12.
12. You're not entirely sure that the transmission is ever going to be the same again, but you eventually get to where Montana suggested. And as you come over a little rise, you see in the scrubby hillside there is a vehicle parked, not terribly dissimilar from yours, as well as a canvas tent.
I'm going to roll a observation.
Very well. Go ahead.
That's going to be a 12.
It does not look like it's been occupied, at least in the past several hours. There's no sign of a camp. There's a campfire, but it is not even smoldering. It is long extinguished. The tent looks like it's secured up pretty well. The flaps are tied, closed. The vehicle appears to be parked as securely as it can be.
Can I check if the keys are in it?
Are you going to get out and go over to it?
Yeah.
The keys are not in it.
Slash its tires.
Well, no, it might be good to have another.
Pull out the fuel line.
Might be good to have another car.
Also, do we want to let our presence known at this time?
Yeah, no, I'm not thinking now. I'm thinking for long term.
I understand, but if we slash their tires and cut the fuel lines, then they will know that we are here.
Yeah.
Only if they're watching.
And if they're watching, they already know we're here.
Exactly. So
I guess that's fair. I guess we're not doing things subtly then, huh?
We're doing things subtly. We're just
All right, we'll subtly slash the tires and throw the fuel line.
I would not. I didn't want to.
I do what you
I'm
wish.
not real good with the subtitles.
No.
Are you sabotaging the car or not?
I say no.
Evans, you say no? All right, fine.
I would much rather take the car, like have another means of escape. If we have to, we know what to. Could we block them in? I mean, I don't know.
It's kind of a scrubby hillside. There's
Yeah.
Is there anything of note in the tent?
Good question.
You open the tent, and inside there's a cot and 4 bedrolls on the ground.
Okay.
There's a small cooking setup. Not much else.
Is there anything remarkable about this particular spot? Can we find anything that is geologically interesting?
Well, Montana guided you here, saying that this is a prime area for limestone caverns.
Montana?
And their presence is basically indicative that I'm at least right that there's something worth looking at.
Okay.
So, oh boy, I guess there's nowhere to go but forward, unless we want to make it some sort of a distraction to pull them out.
Well,
and then we go in.
This is my basic understanding of labyrinths. Is it's a one way in, one way out situation? Am I wrong?
Well, if
And
this
that's
is the
different from a
entrance,
maze.
if this is the actual labyrinth, if we have, per the story, he gave Theseus string to find his way out. Now, if we don't have string, we can keep our hand along the left-hand side of the maze in order to find our way back to the center.
You have not found the opening to the cave yet, by the way.
Oh, okay, great.
That was I was asking for. Is do we see the opening of the cave?
I mean, not just from standing by the tent. No.
Delightful. Should we look around for a bit?
Yes.
Lucas, you were a hunter. You probably have the best chance.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a roll.
That's only a 10.
It takes you about an hour to determine where these gentlemen trudged off to. And eventually you do find essentially a crack in the hillside that a man could squeeze through. It's a little tight, but you can still get through. Even ox can get through. There is a large rock there with a piece of twine tied around it that leads inside.
Okay.
They have the same idea.
Which is what?
If they're familiar with the story of the labyrinth, you use string, or in this case, twine, to follow your way back out to the entrance.
Of course.
They're already in there.
Okay.
Could we do the same, start our own line, do the same thing, and then move it someplace else? That would buy us some time.
Or if we wanted to be completely chaotic evil, we could cut their line and take our own in.
That's what I was. That's yeah. We're on the same page. But like, we take our own end. We're winding theirs up as we go, and then I don't know. Midway, we branch off, put it out somewhere else, so that they still get stuck inside. Like if we're rushing back.
Yeah.
Do we have
Well, what do we got? What do we got in our supplies here?
I mean, in my medical supplies, I have some sutures. I have
Gauze.
You have surgical thread.
I do have surgical thread.
How long do you think you have? How much?
How much surgical thread? Not very much, honestly. Maybe a few meters.
You probably got about 100-foot total on the spool.
All right.
And I honestly would rather keep that for sutures.
Mm-hmm. How much gauze?
Not nearly that much.
No.
Okay.
I'm not. My medical supplies would not be able to get us very far into this.
No.
Unfortunately.
I was this close from switching my secondary trait from bartender to crocheter. More's the fool for me. I apologize.
Well, if we're not going to be able to rip the gauze into little tiny thread size or twine size strips and then take it that way, I guess we just follow theirs.
I say we follow theirs.
Yep.
Well, there was nothing in the. Did we have anything in the car?
Not really, no.
Okay. And was there anything in the bed of their car?
No.
Okay.
Their car is pretty much empty.
Okay.
So you're following their line?
Yeah. Gotta follow their line of twine.
Very well. You begin following their line. It
Did the
goes
University of Columbia in the trunk of that car just have a bunch of lanyards, just a bunch of like recruitment lanyards, where it's just like, hey, thanks for signing up for Glee Club. You get a lanyard, and we just tie a bunch of those together.
I feel like that's a little bit in the future. I feel like it's going to be waiting until like the dumb kids of the 90s who sign up for a credit card and get a T-shirt.
Oh, the lanyard. Oh, golly.
There,
I'm a
Montana,
forward
I believe you had a flashlight. Is that correct?
Yes, I have a flashlight in my case.
Okay, good, because it's dark
My
in there.
bag. Yeah. That was going to be one of my next questions if the other two had one. But, all right. Flashlight on.
All right, you turn your flashlight on and you begin following the twine.
Yep.
I'm assuming we might hear them before we see them.
Very well. Everybody, give me a whoever's leading the way. Which is that going to be Montana? Are you the one?
Probably
following
me
the
with
way?
the flashlight. Yeah.
All right, give me a. I'll let you give me an archaeology roll.
Okay. Excellent. 14.
All right. And Evans, give me a tracking roll as well.
That's a 15.
All right. As you go into the bowels of the earth, you, Montana, you're able to follow their thread pretty easily. Being careful not to put too much pressure on it. You don't want to alert them up ahead that you are tugging behind them.
Yeah.
But Lucas, you notice that there are times where their footsteps have gone off in a different path and then come back. So clearly they've been exploring over time, going back and forth. And they've obviously been exploring various things, and then this is the current path of exploration that they are on. But they have gone down some other side passages and come back to this one at some point. After about an hour of this, you hear up ahead a slight clattering sound. It sounds like maybe a metal object landing on the ground. At this point, natural cave has given way to more polished stone. It's not ornate stonework, but it is definitely man-made at this point.
All right. Daedalus, we're here.
But you did hear that noise up ahead, probably around another bend or two. You don't see any light per se yet, but you did certainly hear it up ahead.
I take my hand over the end of my flashlight so I can dim it down and just basically be, instead of projecting the light far ahead of us, just straight towards the ground.
Okay.
What was that?
I'm closing one eye. Just when we lose light, I can open the other, and I'll see better.
Very
It's an
well.
old hunting trick.
It is pitch black in here besides your flashlight.
Yeah.
Sounded like metal, maybe.
What is the order that you are proceeding in?
I'm in the front with the flashlight.
I'm next. I'm behind. I've got my gun out.
There's basically room for the two of you to walk abreast,
Oh, okay.
but not much more than that.
I would say I am behind a little bit. I'm out of my depths at this point.
Ox, do
And
you want to be in front, or do you want to take up the rear?
Oh, you're
Ox is muted.
muted.
Say that again. I couldn't quite hear you.
Do you want to take up the front, or do you want to ring up? Do you want to be next to Monty, or do you want to be in the back?
I'll take up the front with Monty.
Okay.
All right. Oh,
All right. You see a flicker of light up ahead, Monty, as you come around the corner. It's around the very next corner. There's some light, and you can see some shadows moving here and there as well.
I kill the
Figures
flashlight.
moving about.
I kill our flashlight.
Which one of us is the sneakiest?
It is
They're up
definitely not me.
You're standing there in the dark. What are you doing?
I move forward. I hand the flashlight to Ox. I move forward as quietly as I can, just following the string and just
All right,
basically sliding my feet.
Do you have anything that you think would enable you to move quietly in your traits?
Goodness, going back to my traits. I was a soldier in the Great War.
I'll let you roll 3 dice for that.
All right, cool.
Do not forget that you have at least 2 helps.
I will use one of them.
2 helps.
I will use one of my helps. And that is, my friends, 10. What the hell?
You come around the corner and you see there are 5 men, 4 large ones, one much slighter. They are bent over what looks to be a strange pile of bones and rags. They have a small lantern that is set down. That's imagining what them setting that down is probably what that metallic sound was you heard earlier. And the small man has pulled a small wooden carved box about this size out of the pile of bones, which elicits a slight gasp from you, Montana Smith, and the 5 heads turn around and look right at you. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh, shit.
What's initiative again?
Your wrestler trait for you, Ox.
Okay, 17.
Oh la la. 12.
10.
6.
Oh no! Oh no!
I believe your people say merde.
Oui. Merde.
All right. Ox is not aware of what's going on yet. However, there we go. The small, darker man who's obviously Greek. He's a local. He's holding the box. He looks up. He sees you, and he goes to put the box inside his coat. At the same time, the 4 very Polynesian-looking gentlemen reach to their belts and pull out what appear to be various firearms. One pulls out a pistol, and the other 3 pull out shotguns, double-barreled, sawed off. But that is their action, is realizing that you are there, and they are preparing weaponry. Dr. Sabine, you are behind, just around the corner. You hear the commotion up ahead. Only a few steps around the corner from where you are now.
Can I see by the look upon... is there any indications that we have been made?
Yeah. Most certainly. Dr. Smith has tensed incredibly.
Delightful. I would like to just prepare my area.
Prepare your area?
Yes, I want to just...
Brazilian wax? I don't understand.
No, we're looking at
Don't worry about
Polynesian.
me. I'm just going to go to the spa. No, no. I would like to sort of. I want to get my little tarpaulin out, and I don't want them to know that I'm here, but I want to basically prepare triage.
All right, so you start to set up you flip out your tarpaulin and you get out your bag and you are starting to go, what am I going to need? Very well. Lucas.
I've had my gun out. I guess like it's around a corner.
Yes, he's just around the corner from you. So you could see Montana Smith's back. You cannot see what is in the room itself. You would have to step forward.
Let me ask this. Is there so there's let's say it's off to the right, eh?
Yes.
Is there a hallway straight enough down, or does it just straight and then turn?
It kind of goes straight and then turns. It's a bend in the path.
Okay. Can I run past that to get to the other side, to like flank on the other side of the, like to see and then find position on the other side of that corner?
Okay, it's not an intersection.
Okay.
It is literally, it goes like this and it goes like this. So it's like that, and then there's a room here.
Okay.
You guys are down here.
I misunderstood.
Kind of peeked around the corner, and there's a room in here. Does that make it clearer?
Yes, it does. I step forward, but I step forward.
You step forward, and around the corner, you can see 5 individuals who are readying weapons to shoot at Montana. You can take a shot if you like.
Yeah.
All right, who are you shooting?
Oh, no.
I usually go for the biggest one I can see, and I'm using a help.
All right, very good. Go ahead and roll.
$14.
You actually you wing him. It's not a solid hit, but you definitely hit him. One of the ones with a shotgun. It grazes his arm, not seriously, but it does send him a little bit off balance. The report of the gunshot echoes through the hallway, a deafening roar of a gun, especially to Montana Smith, who you're standing next to at this moment. And as that fades away, you hear a sound in the distance throughout the passageways. It's a bell.
Aku. Aku.
It echoes from down the path. And a separate, as you're looking at the room, there are several passages that come in at different spots into this room, and that is, in fact, the sound that you hear echoing down from one of those passageways.
Does this sound familiar to me?
Yeah, it sounds very, very bovine.
Yeah.
Very angry bovine. Montana.
Oh, I thought I was last. I'm sorry.
You are. Go.
Ox already. Okay.
Ox was. Things happened after Ox was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So a gunshot has just gone off next to me. There is angry bovining. I'm gonna lunge at the Greek.
Very well. Roll 3d6 for your being a former soldier. You're trying to grapple him.
Yeah. I'm gonna use a help.
Very good.
And here we go. 14.
You tackle him and take him to the ground. You're on top of him.
Oh, great.
One could
Give
say
me the box.
One could say you rushed Greek, huh? Sorry.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Boo. Boo, sir. A boo.
This is for Alpha Sigma Pi.
As you drop him from one of the side passages, a rushing freight train sound and that bellowing as this comes barreling through one of the passageways directly into one of the Samoans. Its horn pierces between his ribs as the man bull shakes his head as he charges in, impaling, goring him, and then with a horrible slurping sound, he slides off the horn and slams into the wall, pierced through the torso, and crumples in a heap off to the side. It's a man's body, but it stands probably 7 feet tall, huge, muscular, the head of a bull. There is residual blood around its mouth.
Tim Allen, no.
Tim Allen.
It sounds like his caveman thing. Sorry.
Ox, what do you do?
So it's killed one of the Samoans.
Probably.
Montana's beating up the little Greek guy. So there's still 2 Samoans.
There are still 3 Samoans, one who was winged.
One who was winged, yeah. 3 Samoans. I'm going to actually hold my action this time.
Okay.
Because in my line of thinking, I'd rather fight either 3 Samoans or a giant bull man, not both at the same time.
Fair enough. The Greek tries to get out from under Montana Smith. Montana, roll me 3d6 as he tries to scramble out.
All right. Ooh, 15.
You just barely manage to keep him pinned to the ground as he tries to wriggle away. One of the Samoans fires at the Minotaur. The shot goes wide. One of the double-barrel shotgun blasts into the wall. Stone shatters across the room. Another even louder, deafening roar in all of your ears from that gunshot. The one who was winged runs on over and looks like he's going to try to pull Montana off of the Greek, but he is still a little dazed from being shot. The last one shoots at Lucas Evans, lowers a double-barrel shotgun, and discharges one of the barrels at Lucas. Lucas, dodge, if you will, please. Remember, you have.
I will use a help, thank you. That's a 10, guys.
Lucas, you have a base hit point value. What is your most physical trait? Is it a primary or a side? Side hunter?
Yeah.
All right, so you would normally have 18 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
You are blasted with buckshot all across the left side of your body, and you take 10 points of damage.
Oh my God.
It spins you, topples you to the ground. Dr. Sabine, it is your turn.
I want to peek over the corner, around the corner.
Lucas basically drops at your feet, blood pouring from many pellet wounds.
Beautiful. Well, not beautiful. The worst thing. I want to put my arms under his arms like this and drag him from
You drag him back around the corner.
around the corner, and I want to basically assess his wounds as best I can.
He's, for lack of a better term, effed up with buckshot.
I'm
That
assuming
is your turn to get him out there and onto your tarpaulin.
Yes.
And give him a quick look over.
Yes.
All
I'm
right,
assuming
very well.
that is all I can do. I cannot do any more.
No, he's you had to drag him out of there to start.
Got it. Okay.
Lucas, you are not unconscious. You're in a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
It is your turn.
I like with you said the left side.
Yes.
The right side holds out my gun to Ox.
Very well. Ox, you are holding your action. Lucas hands you a pistol.
I guess I'm taking the pistol.
All right. What else would you like to do?
Trying to shoot the some bitch that just shot him.
All right. You peek around the corner. Go ahead. You're a farm boy. That's not normally pistol work, but I'll let you roll 3d6.
13.
Nice. You managed to shoot him in the torso. He staggers back, injured, but not down. Montana, you're on top of this guy who is trying to squirm out from underneath you.
Yeah.
Somebody else is coming over to help him in a moment. What do you do?
Is there a rock within grabbing distance?
I mean, there are human bones nearby.
Oh, okay. Great. And it's within grabbing distance?
Yes.
I grab one and I clock him on the head with it.
Roll 3d6.
All right. Do I have any helps left?
You certainly do.
Okay,
You have
great.
3.
Oh, fantastic. I will use one help right now.
All right.
Holy Nike, 17.
You stave in his skull.
Oh,
Bone
great.
fragments fly as you crush his skull in your adrenaline-filled rage. I rolled a 7.
Murder comes easy to Pennsylvania Jones.
Apparently it does. His brain comes up, his skull comes apart, and his brains splash out underneath you as you stave in his skull with what appears to be a snapped off human femur, which is still covered with it's still covered with a bit of a gristle on it. You have eliminated your adversary. The Minotaur spins around and charges the man who is going to pull Smith off. And does not manage to gore him, but does manage to shoulder him aside and push him against the wall, and has him pinned against the wall. So the Minotaur has one of the other Samoans pinned against the wall. Ox held his action, so he's new in the order. He's back down here now. So give me a moment. Dr. Sabine.
So I can see that he is. So I'm assuming that most of the buckshot is. Okay, tell me exactly what is it? What's the damage?
Give me your surgery.
Yes.
Your first aid.
I'm going to use. Well, no, I'll be okay. Actually, that is 14.
14. Kia has abdominal bleeding. Probably a perforated bowel. He's got severe lacerations on his left arm and left leg from pellets as well. There are probably some pellets lodged in there additionally. Okay. He is going to need like serious medical help.
Right. I'm going to do what I can in this moment, which would probably be to disinfect the wound as much as possible and to try and stop the bleeding.
All right, very good. You've splashed him with some disinfectant over a wide swath of his body. Evans, it stings to high hell.
Yeah,
and then she presses a compress on the worst of your injury.
Do I also have time to administer perhaps maybe some powdered morphine?
You have a little ampule of morphine you could give him real quick. He shakes his head.
No.
Never
You
mind.
go to pull it up and he shakes his head.
No.
I shall not.
The Samoan who is pinned pulls the trigger on the pistol he had directly into the abdomen of the Minotaur. It does not seem to slow it down in the slightest. The other one, who had shot Lucas and then was shot in turn by Ox, is going to fire the other barrel at Ox. Ox, go ahead and give me your wrestler roll. You do have helps.
Got 3 of them.
Ox.
I'm going to use one of my helps.
All right, very good. So roll 5d6, take the highest 4.
14.
You manage to throw yourself against the wall just in time as the gun discharges. It whiffs right past you, but you are unhit.
Thank God I used that help.
Evans.
I'm just hey, if he's got Monty, if you got the box, if you got what he had, let's get the fuck up. Let's get out of here.
You are on your back currently, Lucas.
Yeah.
She's applying a compress around your waist. Are you going to continue to lay there? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. You lay there and bleed some more.
Merci de
Dr. Smith.
de moi.
Was that French?
I've been saving it.
Bon.
Dr. Smith?
I grabbed the box off of my dead friend. And
He would hardly call you a friend.
yeah, but we got very close in the end. I take the box and I scramble back towards the bend.
Very good. And so you do. The Minotaur, now that he has the man pinned, bites his nose off.
Oh!
With his bovine teeth, just clips the Samoan's nose off. He lets off a scream of pain. Then he headbutts him 5 or 6 times in rapid succession until the body stops moving and it drops to the ground.
Fucking awesome.
Wow.
The Samoan whose shotgun is now empty sees Montana scrambling and running away and runs after him. He's hot on your heels, Montana Smith.
Okay.
Is that everybody? I think that's all of them.
Everyone else is dead, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. So to that end, Dr. Sabine. Montana is running past you, being pursued by a
Okay. I think at this point, I've done all I can for Lucas. There's nothing much I can do at this moment except for trying to stop the bleeding.
But you've done your best you could right now. So it while it's not good, it could be a lot worse.
Could be a lot worse. I think there's part of me that wants to look over the corner once again.
You see the Minotaur standing over the crushed body of one of the Samoans. Another Samoan has bled out on the side. You see a Greek man with his head staved in.
Okay.
That was definitely the Minotaur.
Can I assess the approximate size, weight, and body composition of the Minotaur?
He's over 7 foot tall and weighs several hundred pounds.
Okay. How much morphine do I have?
You have no idea what's going to happen there.
I think I would like to roll to see if I have enough tranquilizer to potentially use against him.
Go ahead. Roll your
Okay.
surgery roll.
That's going to be a 14.
14
today.
You're
Okay.
a human doctor. This is a bovine human hybrid that's allegedly thousands of years old.
Okay. That's it.
Very good. You're standing there in awe of this monster, trying to figure out, is there enough tranquilizer on the island of Crete to put him down? Evans.
I bleed.
Very well.
You do it so well.
Ox, what do you do? Montana's running
The
past
one
you.
that is chasing Monty,
Correct.
have they passed me?
Oh yeah.
They're about to.
Have they passed me?
I am going to basically try to shoulder block the Samoan following Monty off of his feet.
Very well. Give me a wrestling roll.
If I'm on the ground, he's running past me. Can I try to trip him too?
Yes, you may, Lucas. Lucas, you may roll 3 dice to try to trip him. Ox can roll 4.
17, baby.
I'm sorry.
17.
Very good, Lucas.
I got a 12.
Lucas manages to get his right foot out and doesn't trip him all the way, but causes him to stumble. And then Ox lays him out with a shoulder hit into the stone wall, and the Samoan drops to the ground. He is conscious, but completely prone on the ground, and his bell has been rung. Dr. Smith.
All right. Do I realize that he's been knocked to the ground, or am I just?
Are you going to stop and look, or are you going to keep going?
I will. I'm saying, do I hear this happening behind me, or
You heard something happen behind you.
All right. I look
You saw
behind.
me run by you.
It's like,
Yeah, you see what happened.
All right. In that case, I pull to a stop, and let's get Is he conscious or not?
Lucas?
No,
Or
no,
the
no, no. The
Samoan?
Samoan. The Samoan.
The Samoan is conscious, but he's a little dazed. But he's prone on the ground.
I'll go up, and I slug him.
Okay, you stop. You go back and you punch him. Go ahead, roll me 3d6.
All right, using a help again. 17. help.
You punch him in the
Helps.
face.
Yeah.
He's even more dazed.
Good.
Um,
And then now, Evans, let's get you out of here.
the Minotaur spins around, and its eyes, red with rage, lock onto Dr. Clement. and it charges her.
Okay.
Dr. Sabine, what do you have as far as a physical trait?
I have my martial arts skill.
What?
Remember, I have the basically self-defense.
Oh, that's
I
right. You
learned.
did. You did. You are correct. Roll 3d6.
I'm going to use a lot of helps. 2 helps.
You're going to use 2 helps. I, the Glue Master, am going to use a help.
Oh, shit.
Oh. Can I give my final remaining help over to Dr.
No,
Sabine?
you may not.
Hit it on the nose.
Boop its snoot.
I know that's what you're supposed to do with a bull, is hit it as hard as you can on the nose with
Bull
something.
shark. It's a bull shark, isn't it?
18.
18. It plows into you
Oh.
and does 6 points of damage,
Oof.
knocking you backwards, tripping over Lucas onto the ground. Luckily, that's all. You probably have broken ribs. But it knocks you backwards with its slam over top of Lucas.
Where's the flashlight?
Ox has it.
Ox has it.
You gave it to him.
I have it. Yeah.
Shine the flashlight in its eyes.
The Samoan on the ground sees what's going on and tries to scramble to his feet and unsteadily gets to his feet. Dr. Sabine, you are on the ground, lying on your back.
I tried to get up and run away.
Very good. You climb to your feet and you try to scramble out the way you guys came in.
And I would like to recover my bag if possible.
Which are you doing? Are you going to recover your bag or are you running?
I'm recovering my bag.
Very well. You get up to your feet
Oh,
and you
wow.
grab your bag. Evans.
I kind of like push myself. I wedge myself into.
You can stand up. You're not.
I can?
Totally, yes, you're not totally incapacitated.
Okay, I get to my feet and trying to get out.
All right, you are also trying to exit. Ox.
I am going to try to take the dazed standing Samoan and guide him so he falls as ungracefully as possible on top of the Minotaur as
The
I can.
Minotaur's upright, but
Okay, I thought he tripped. I thought you said he tripped. Then I'm just going to try to guide him into the Minotaur.
very well. Roll me 4d6 to direct him into the path of the Minotaur.
Oh, God, I'm hitting the wrong button.
You've been rolling d4s?
You have helps. You have helps.
I'm going to use a help.
Very good.
15.
You push him unceremoniously directly into the chest of the Minotaur, who then glares down and looks at the Samoan. Dr. Smith.
I grab Evan. Who's closer to me, Evans or Dr. Sabine? And who
Evans.
looks worse?
Sabine went back for her bag.
Okay. I grab Evans under the arm and just start pulling him.
All right, the two of you are making the way out.
Yeah.
Which way are you going?
Help her.
Which way are you going?
Follow the string.
All right, you grab the string. All right.
All right, and you're saying to help her instead of you?
Yeah.
He already grabbed you.
I know that. I'm still saying it.
All right, very good. The Minotaur.
Follow the string.
The Minotaur. The Minotaur is surprised to have the Samoan so close to him, and takes a step backward and swings his head bashing the Samoan in the side of the head with the horn, but not skewering him, but battering the Samoan about even more. But now the Samoan is between you and the Minotaur. All of you and the Minotaur.
Okay.
And the Samoan fumbles for something at his belt, and he pulls out what appears to be a stick of dynamite, and is fumbling for a lighter. He's fumbling with a lighter.
Run!
Dr. Sabine.
I want to make sure that so I have my bag, and I'm assuming that I'm about close to Montana and Lucas.
They are right behind you on the way out.
Okay. I want to. So I turn. I want to make sure that Lucas is taken care of.
Lucas is is being helped by Montana Smith.
Go.
Fantastic.
Let's go.
I am running as best I can, given the fact that I have obviously broken ribs, but I'm assuming that adrenaline is coursing through my body.
So you begin to run out as well.
Yes.
Very well. Evans.
I'm going out at
Booking it.
Yep.
Ox.
Because I'm a fucking gentleman, I am going to follow them out, but I am going. How much does Sabine weigh?
I weigh about 130 pounds, so I guess
Broken ribs or no, I'm scooping her up and carrying her because I can probably move faster with her than she can by herself.
You are probably right. Give me a wrestling roll just to make sure you don't botch the grab.
I'm going to use a help.
Probably not a bad idea.
13.
You scoop her up and keep running.
my goodness.
It's not the time for the camel clutch. Oh no!
He's applying the walls of Jericho.
The Minotaur bellows in rage as the Samoan attempts to light the fuse. He turns his head to the side and pierces the top of the skull of the Samoan, who then falls, the dynamite unlit, scattering to the ground. Dr. Sabine, I assume the rest of you guys are just running, or Dr. Sabine, you're holding on as you are being.
I'm assuming that I have my bag and that Ox has me.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is correct.
Okay, great. That's it.
Montana, roll me 3d6
Okay.
to keep a hold of the line and not get lost on the way out.
Can I use a help on this one?
Yes, you most certainly may.
Thank you. Okay. 16.
16. You are fairly certain that you are proceeding in the correct direction.
Okay.
Let's see what the Minotaur. The Minotaur. You hear as you're fleeing the room, you hear a rending, tearing sound as if flesh being ripped from bone. For a moment, and then you hear another bellow. You continue running. You hear at one point the Minotaur bellow again and start to pursue. By the time it is finished goring its victims and making sure that everybody in that room is dead, you have managed to get out to the entrance. You are at the cave entrance. What do you do?
We should
I get Evans out.
Yeah, let's just get to the. I'm just. Unless somebody stops me or tells me to stop, I am taking Sabine to the car.
Very well. The four of you get into the car. Ox, you fire it up, and you take off. As you drive away, you do not see anything else come out of the cave. Where are you going?
Hospital,
Hospital.
please.
To the hospital. Immediately. Back to Crete. Back to
Gnosis.
Gnosis.
Sorry about probably breaking more of your ribs and carrying you.
Okay.
We all
We're back
survived,
to
man.
Archelium.
Heracleum. Sure.
Heracleum.
An hour of bumpy, agonizing road travel. Evans, you swear you can feel every pellet shift when you get over a bump,
Yeah,
which is about every 30 seconds.
Yeah. I can only to be fair, I'm going to imagine unless the doc made a really like treated these wounds well, my hit points might have been down from the trip, and just like blood loss.
I mean, I want to say that as soon as we were on, I'm probably going to, as soon as Ox let me go, I'm probably going to be tending to your. I'm going to be.
And I'm assuming I'm covered in your blood and gore and just holding
Yes,
wherever
you are.
she tells me to hold pressure.
Yep. It is evening when you arrive back in town. There is the hospital that you got the supplies from. You pull right on up.
I want to meet the surgeon.
You need help getting out of the car.
Okay, I want to meet the surgeon.
They immediately they come in and they see that both you and Evans are severely injured, and they whisk you inside to treat you. They basically start triage and then getting Lucas prepped for surgery. They're getting you prepped for a cast like immediately. They're like, oh my, this is horrible. Montana.
Horrible.
Montana, Ox, you are outside at the car still as they are whisked inside. What did the two of you do? Montana, you're holding this wooden box. It is not the wooden box that you got before.
I need to find a phone.
There are phone booths.
All right, and I need to call Pim.
I'm gonna go back into the hospital and just basically check in and see if anybody has any news on these two. I know they're just starting surgery, but
All right, so you're in the waiting room helping.
yeah.
Montana. Actually, you make the leap of logic that it's probably going to be easier to call from Dr. Kober's office. She's got a phone.
Okay.
And what number are you calling? You have Pim's card.
I have Pim's card.
After 3 rings, you hear yes.
We have it.
What do you have?
We have the box from the labyrinth.
What box from the labyrinth?
I'm assuming this is the Daedalus box. The Daedalus device.
Is there a device in the box?
I haven't opened the box.
I see.
Do you want me to open the box?
If you feel safe, yes, please.
Do I need to be where nobody else is?
How would I know?
You know more than I do usually.
I'm not there. Please, is the device inside?
I open the box.
The box is a very simple clasp. It opens.
Okay.
And inside is what appears to be a tarnished silver. It almost looks like a child's rattle. There's a long, thin end, and there's a bulb at the other, and there are bands on the bulb that look like they can rotate. There are various symbols carved into the silver on each band, almost like a combination lock.
Okay. I explain that. Okay. I explain all of this to To Pym.
That sounds like it.
All right. Evans has been shot, and Dr. Clement has been possibly gored, at least hit by a minotaur.
The
You need it.
Minotaur.
We'll tell you more when you're here. And I hang up the phone.
Very well. And you walk back to the hospital, where Evans and Dr. Clement are stabilized, and the doctor comes on out to get Ox and Montana. Yes, doctor.
I just want to point out that I was yelling and complaining about everyone else's. I was telling everyone how they should do it better because they were doing everything wrong.
So you're just the world's best patient.
Yes, obviously.
They usher you into to the room. They've in the ward. There are beds. There aren't like modern hospitals with separate rooms per se. There are curtained off areas in the main ward, and they, at Dr. Clement's request, have put Evans next to him, next to you. So the two of you are nearby. They can pull the curtain back. So you basically have a large curtain space, and Ox and Montana are brought in.
Before that is, I'm there, and I'm just like, I reach my hand over to her, and I'm just holding her hand.
I accept the stand.
Montana and Ox come in to see them holding hands on adjacent beds.
I would like to make a 3d6 really fast.
He doesn't
4.
even speak French.
What?
For what? Dr. Clement?
I want to see if I accept pain treatment.
If you what?
Accept pain treatment.
Ah, yes.
I got a 12.
You manage to persuade them to give you the minimum amount that you can get away with.
Okay.
You don't feel too much of a relapse from this.
Okay.
But you do swear off the harder stuff. All right. You are all 4 together again.
Do you want to see what it was?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hold it out for. I hand over the opened box to Ox, and then to Lucas.
Did you get a hold of Pym?
Yep.
What do you say?
He thinks this is it.
Was he looking for it?
This sounds like what he was looking for.
So it was him who sent the telegrams.
I can only imagine. I didn't actually even think to ask.
Same.
Because usually he just kind of shows up.
If he doesn't show up, it means that he is otherwise occupied.
Or
yeah,
Pym's the bad guy.
That's not what I'm suggesting. What I'm suggesting, somebody told us that it was we've been under the assumption this whole time that Pym set us set us to find this. What if it wasn't?
I would like to point out that Monsieur Pym is not the bad guy.
Yeah.
I have known him my entire life.
But that's what I'm saying. We because we trust him so much, someone might have used us and our trust to him.
Who would do something. That?
I don't know. I don't know.
Who do we know in that?
But you spoke to him. You spoke to
I spoke to Pym on the phone.
All right. That is all I need to know.
Did I speak to Pim?
Did you indeed? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our night. Thank you all so much for bearing with us with our long delay to finishing this adventure. I want to take a few moments to introduce our players. We have Lucas Evans. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Steve O'Dockerson, and I play beloved entertainer Hob the Troll. Currently finishing out the Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival, where you can see me sing some marvelous songs as well. I've got new merch, guys. That's right. For the low cost of $10, you can pick up a toe bag, Hob the Troll's feet. $10. That's $1 a toe. These will be available soon at hobthetroll.bandcamp.com. I'll also be at the Lady of the Lakes Festival the first 2 weeks of November, and then I will be doing the Yuletide at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival November 24th through December 10th on the weekends.
Very good. A busy man, that Hob the Troll. I also like to introduce Dr. Sabine Clément.
Hi, everybody. I am Katie Hauser. I am a performer, and you will find me next at the Louisiana Renaissance Festival performing with Chase Treasure all 4 weekends in November and 2 weekends in December. That's where I shall be. And you can also find me at hobthetroll@bandcamp.com.
That's true.
Yeah.
100%. We also have with us Ox, Oliver.
How you doing, Matt Selly? I am the Sausage King, and I will also be finishing out the run of Pennsylvania, and then I will be playing Krampus at the Yule at Mount Hope with Throb the Hole. Yeah, and I can guarantee you that these are indeed truly Hob the Troll's feet. And that is a bargain at $1 a toe. Let me tell you, this man has sexy feet.
Fair enough. We also have with us Dr. Montana Zachary Smith.
Hi, I'm Dan Kostelik.
My dog is so confused.
Oh, wow. You might know me as Shakespeare with my nice big bald head. And I will be at the Delaware Renaissance Fair this weekend for their opening weekend. But also I have ghost tours in Salem this Friday with Black Cat Tours, and on Halloween Tuesday, Ask for Jack. That's my tour guide name. Everyone gets a tour guide name there. And then I'm going to be down with Katie Hauser and with the Gloom Master here at the Louisiana Renaissance Festival. 5 of the 6 weekends down there. I'm skipping weekend number 2 for my nephew's wedding. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. But also, you can of course find me at hobthetroll.bandcamp.com, where you'll find my delightful 11-toe bag. What?
Oh, I did not know that Dan was polydactyl.
I didn't either until I said that sentence.
Fair enough. And hello, everyone. My name is Tom Zadoyko. I'm the Gloom Master. You can find me for this last weekend at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. I own and perform in the Mud Skippers Mud Show. You can also find me then thereafter at the Louisiana Renaissance Fair with both Katie and Dan. I am Captain Sir Francis Drake down there. I am also I run their tasting events. They have a beer tasting, wine tasting, all kinds of great stuff. So I'm down there doing that. So please check us out there. I'd like to take a quick moment to thank our sponsors, 3DTU, 3DTU.org, our wonderful friends there who are doing 3D printed and laser woodcut various gaming accessories, journals, dice towers, dice boxes, that sort of thing. Check them out, 3DTU.org. We also have ourselves, the Glue Master, myself, and Handler Z, my wife, who's in the background. She writes the stories. I narrate them. We have a book out on Amazon and Audible. Dare, it's a collection of short stories. and poetry, mainly in the horror, with some sci-fi and dark romance thrown in to boot. You can also find us at our Patreon at Quill and Quote. You have to actually type in the whole thing because it is adult content. If you support us on Patreon, you get advanced copies of the stories and the narrations. So check that out. And finally, renadventures.com. All sorts of tours with some of your favorite Renaissance Fair performers going all over the world. But coming up next in New Orleans, we're going to play Dungeons & Dragons in New Orleans, December 5th through the 9th, culminating in a trip to the Louisiana Renaissance Fair, where you can see myself, Dan, and Katie all performing, as well as several other people that you have seen very often here on the channel. You can check that out. And then coming up next June, we have a castle tour at Munster Castle, play D&D 5e in an actual English castle with Paula Garbanzo, myself, and Ryan Gelotti, who's the other half of my sword fighting show, Buckle and Swash.
It's Muncaster.
Muncaster. Why I say Munster, like the cheese? It's Muncaster. You're right. And Handler Z has joined us with Baby Bat.
Baby Bat.
Oh, she's been screaming the whole time. She's just full of screams.
So we wanted to show show you to everybody. Thank you all for your love and support, your gifts, everything that you've been doing for Handler Z and I as we welcome little Helena into the world. And we're going to, hopefully she'll grow up to be a spooky goth baby. We'll see. But I'm not going to force it on her. If she wants, she can be a spooky goth baby if she wants.
She's going to listen to K-pop just to spite you.
And she might end up with K-pop. I don't know. If that's what she likes, she can go ahead and do that.
We like BTS here.
Dave Matthews is great, Dad. You don't understand.
Oh, that would hurt.
Please believe when I tell you.
Dad, I just discovered this new band called Creed.
Will he accept her with his arms wide open?
Ooh.
We're going to be taking off next week for Gothic Horror Gaming.
Yes.
I will be traveling down to Louisiana on that actual Wednesday. So
Then I've got this.
And we won't be able to run anything. Once I get down there, however, we're going to try to establish an in-person game that we are going to broadcast to all of you. The goal is that 4 of our performers who will be at the Louisiana Fair, we will try to get one room together and we'll play chill and we'll broadcast it here on Twitch and on YouTube. But instead of all of us being in different locations, we'll be all in the room together. And we'll do a quick little 2 or 3 session version of that. Stay tuned to our Discord. If we have the Discord up there, you can find us there, or our Facebook page at Nat21 Adventures. Either Discord or Facebook will post when we know exactly what we're doing, how we're doing it. But that's the goal, is for to do a live in-person one while we're in Louisiana. So we'll do a horror game, another chill game from down there. And then hopefully sometime after that, Baby Bat will be settled down enough that Handler Z can run another Delta Green game. But it's going to be at least another month before that's possible.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's the way of things.
Yeah, what?
Friends, thank you again so much for joining us. Check us all out at our various endeavors. And stay tuned to Facebook and to Discord to find out when our next Gothic Horror Gaming will be. It will not be next week, but the week after that, we hope to have something up and running for you. So check back with us then. Until then, thank you, everyone, and have a pleasant evening. Good night.
Ah.